This is the last meeting for Rotary year 2017 and 18. And it is with my distinct pleasure and privilege to be up here. Before we get into the transition part of our meeting, I would like to make a quick announcement. We need volunteers for 4th of July parade. And this is, our club always participates in parade. But this year, it's also special since our past president, Frank Cardarello, is the Grand Marshal for this parade. Okay. So parade, I participated for the first time last year. It's a wonderful way of getting a different perspective. So I encourage you to volunteer and participate in the parade. Happy birthdays. This is our last meeting of this year. Our next regular club meeting isn't until July 12th. So happy birthdays to Rotarians who celebrate their birthdays over the course of the next 2 weeks. And then we have a lot of Rotarian anniversaries. So congratulations to all these Rotarians who celebrate their Rotary anniversary over the course of the next 2 weeks. And I personally would like to congratulate past President Bruce Templeton for his 30 years of membership in our club. Okay, assisting with today's meeting off podium, you are warmly greeted by Rotarians Jack Kenefek and Ed Padilla. Front desk manned by Greg Hanks and our capable club administrator Jennifer Goski. And today's Barker will be written by Axel Stewart. And today's photographs will be taken by Marty Cooper, but also Jennifer Benerot will be helping as well. This is today's program. So it's a little packed, but we'll get through this. First, with invocation. So Brad, if you could come up and lead us in invocation, Pledge of Allegiance.
All right. Let us pray. Please bow your heads.
Louder.
Thank you. Dear Lord, we come together under one common goal, doing good in the world. Bless our group, and with all our talents we bring to making the world a better place. As we transition our leaders today, we thank them for all their hard work and ask that you bless all the work our group and leaders do in the future. We thank you for the coming celebration of our country's independence and ask you to continue to bless this great country. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll do the four-way test here of the things we think, say, and do. First.
Is it the truth?
Second.
Is it fair to all concerned?
Third.
Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
All right. I'd like to welcome you all to the 60th annual Changing the Guard ceremony. This club has had 60 of them, and this is the latest version of it. We have one visiting Rotarian, and I won't even try to pronounce his last name, but I do know him well. His name is David, happens to be the uncle of Moses Mwara, whom we had some contact with this past year and several years ago. David, nice to have you. He's visiting from Nairobi. David has a guest, his wife, Sabira. You want to stand up? She's also from Nairobi. John Flynn, do you want to introduce your guest?
Hey everyone, this is my lovely girlfriend, Pam Conlow, and for those of you that are interested, she's going to have her prom dress on in the 4th of July parade. And this is Nick Gordon. Nick's my and he's helping us out on some video production, and he's a great young man. So welcome him.
Bill Kleins, you have a guest? David, you gonna do it for him?
We all have relatives. I'm blessed with some wonderful relatives, but this is special because about 20 years ago, I had some new relatives in Tom and Lynn and their Tom's other sibling. You might notice a resemblance between this young man and my dear father. This is Tom and Lynn Crowley. They're from Atlanta, Georgia. Tom is an amateur astronomer on staff at Georgia Tech, and they're visiting here in sunny Minnesota on their way to Dr. Dash's South Dakota. And I'm really happy to have them, and I'm very blessed that I've got some wonderful new relatives. See you.
Tom McNellis?
I'm here with my wife Roberta, of course, to congratulate our son-in-law, Son, and also to congratulate John. I served on the board with your dad, and I guess we're the first two past presidents that also have sons that are going forward. I guess the best thing you can say about Rotary is if you bring your own kid in. Welcome.
Dick Teagan, you have a guest?
Yes, this is Doug Drake. This is his fourth visit. And I think he's gonna make it.
You sure? And last but not least, we have somebody who is very familiar with Moses, Afira Hassan. She's a prospective member. Afira, are you here? There she is. Her husband was the one who operated on Moses. She's an optometrist setting up practice in Eden Prairie. Did I miss anybody?
Tom Gump.
Tom Gump? He's not a visitor.
Yeah, Tom is really not a guest. He's an honorary member more than anything else. Marty, could you come up? We're going to formally start the formal portion of the today's transition meeting.
Hi, I'm Marty Cooper, Club Administrator Director for the Edina Rotary Club. I'm the guy that you don't want to receive a phone call from on Monday morning reminding you that you have to write the Barker this week. I don't get a lot of podium time during the year, so this may take a while. San told me I only had 3 minutes for my presentation. Sorry, San. We enjoyed another great Rotary year this year. The weekly meetings were well attended. Programs by Speaker Mary Houston and her committee were top-notch. The club celebrated its 60th anniversary during the year. An outstanding meeting was held in October with many past presidents attending. Thank you to Jennifer Benarat and her City of Edina staff for a great video and program. Josh Sprague headed the Opioid Awareness Workshop on May 2nd, which gave the club excellent exposure and addressed a very real problem in our country. We had a successful Vocational Ethics Day in April thanks to Dan Hallberg and Wayne Harmon. Jennifer Benarat had the annual Women in Leadership program on May 24. The Vocational Day at the U of M's Athletic Village was very informative and well attended. Michael Stanzik had a record attendance for the annual Thanksgiving turkey delivery. And last but not least, I'd like to thank Club Administrator Jennifer Garsky for all of her great work keeping the club organized over the year.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Brandon?
Hi, good afternoon. For those of you who don't know, I am a co-chair for the local grants committee. Paul Peterson could not be with us today because he's prepping for a tour, so I told him I'd take over. once we receive the applications, we assign one of our 21 members to vet all organizations. The grant recipients or requestors are vetted by our community members as well. And in the last year, we awarded 19 grants totaling $38,816, which is which is fantastic, and it's all because of your donations, which is incredible. So we are honored to be an extension of you guys. You know, as we look at these committees, organizations, we try to look at it through the eyes of what would the group want? Where does this money best serve? We also award signature grants. As you know, our signature grant this year was tree planting at Edina schools, as well as some outdoor musical instruments at Roslyn Park. And Hannelore just last week was in the park and met a bunch of friends playing the instruments, so they're going to good use. Those grants totaled over $12,000. We also work together with other clubs to leverage and combine, giving matching district grants as well. We did this successfully 2 times last year, one with Cornerstone with a van, $21,000 van. We partnered with other people. And also with the Opioid Awareness Project, prevention program. So Rotary and giving back to the community go hand in hand, and this is where your money goes locally. So it's important for you to know this. And there are also many volunteer opportunities. If newer members would like to get involved with our committee, we'd love to have you. And I'd also like to thank Jennifer Benarat. Honestly, she has been our arm to the district and has put in so much time behind the scenes. So thank you, Jennifer. Thank you.
Greetings, I'm Shelley Loberg. I am your Director of International Service for our club. I want to take a moment just to recognize my committee members. They are Dan Mott, Gary Pedersen, Tim Murphy, Jack Kennefick, Doug Johnson, San Asato, Raj Kumar, Axel Stauer, and myself. During the course of the 2017-18 Rotary year, we approved various financial contributions to many different international projects. Here are just a few of them. We are helping provide cataract eye surgeries to an indigenous population in San Felipe, Mexico, in partnership with the Minneapolis University Club. We are partnering with the Rotary Club of Minneapolis and providing pit latrines, washing facilities, and educational materials to young girls in South Sudan. We aided the Rotary Club of Maple Grove in sending sewing and knitting supplies to help women in Uganda earn a living. Along with the Brooklyn Center Rotary Club, we helped the Days for Girls enterprise in Haiti. They sew, distribute reusable menstrual kits to local women in need. We are budgeted to be a major contributor to the City of Lakes Wash Project with World Vision in Honduras to provide many schools, health facilities, and neighborhoods with much needed healthy water and sanitation practices. In partnership with the Eden Prairie Noon Rotary, we supported Avishkar, which is an organization empowering young girls in India through hands-on math camps and education. We are also contributing to a water project in Upper East Ghana with the Rotary Club of Montreal. Our own Dan Mott authored and completed a grant recently, which just got final approval at Rotary International to provide clean water and sanitation to several villages in Sierra Leone with our partner, One Village Partners. You may have heard us talk about that this year. Our major water and sanitation project in Guatemala, authored by Gary Pedersen, made major progress this year, and we just completed our first round of reporting on that project to Rotary International. In the coming Rotary year, we will work to complete a maternal and child health project in Bulawayo, Zimbabwe, as well as complete a project delivering water filters in the highlands of Caban, Guatemala. Please contact me at any time if you ever have questions about the work we do. But thank you to my committee members, and thank you for allowing me to serve on the board and represent you as your Director of International Service.
This isn't really working, is it? Shelley. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Greg Yock. I'm the Director of Membership. Been the Director for the last 2 years. So I have a couple slides. So quick, want to give you an update on our statistics for our club. Currently, we have 174 members of the club, which is great. And we have a gender distribution, male and female. We edged up just 1%, so we're up to 21% female. And age distribution, we stayed pretty much the same. We have 11% below 40 and the rest above 40. We also were fortunate to just have 4 new members who had just joined in the last month. So starting in July, we had 1 resignation as well, so we'll be up to 177, which is fantastic. So next, all the thank yous for all that. Thank you. Thanks very much. So thank you first and foremost for the opportunity to serve the club over the last 2 years in this position. It's been a real pleasure in this role to meet so many nice and talented people. That's a great benefit of being in membership. So if you have an interest in membership, please get involved. So many awesome people to thank. So leadership from President Asato, Club Administrator Jennifer Garski just does a ton for membership, keeping me in line and doing many, many things that help. Membership scheduling and onboarding, Mary Husted. She gets all the people onboarded and scheduled, and it's really, really helpful. Interviews and inductions, I don't know if you all know how much time they all spend on this, but Brad Hepp, Steve Slice, and Jody Kern, really, really helpful to meet with prospective members before they become members and make that a really nice process. So thank you to them. And then new member orientation, Josh Sprague, he's been doing that, still involved in membership, and he's also really my mentor in membership. He's been continue to be involved in membership, which is great. And then outreach, retention outreach, Royce Pavelka. So that's been really helpful to try to keep in touch with people and make sure they're involved in the club. And then lastly, a whole crew of ambassadors and mentors. So making people feel welcome, inviting guests, and then mentors to new members. So thank you for all of those people as well. And so really, as you can see, vibrant membership really takes everyone in the club, everyone inviting guests and making people feel welcome. Those are really the 2 things in membership to keep our membership vibrant, is really inviting people and then making them feel welcome and helping them get involved in committees. So please support Royce. He's your incoming new membership director, and please get involved in his committees and support him in his next leadership of membership. Thank you very much.
Tradition past President Scott McDonald started is for board members who are leaving the board to get a miniature rotary clock. So, Greg, thanks for all your service.
Well, hi everybody, I'm Renee, and I am the social director, and I also want to take just a second to recognize the members of our social committee. So we have Lisa Walker, Jennifer Shinners, Jennifer Hendrickson, Kelly Barnett, Rick Carlson, Joe Peterson, Brad Hepp, Ross Peterson, Wade Tommen, and a couple new members, Scott Hawkins and Toshi Metzger. So thanks, you guys. These are the people who have really been working hard to put together fun events for you. So last year when we started forming our committee, we said, what do we think our goal should be? Because we were thinking, gotta have a goal. And we came up with that really our mission was to bring together events that foster good friendships and the place for people to get to know each other that outside of these events would not have happened. And we also really believe that people work together a lot better if they're having fun with their friends. So that's our goal. And now I do have some slides. So we started out in July with Rotary After Hours at Pinstripes. And right now, you guys, that's been put on hold. We didn't really have anybody to follow up on that, and it wasn't widely attended, so that's on hold. In August, we had a great dinner at Kincaid's, and Lisa Walker headed that up for us. We had 22 people attend. We also had Rotary After Hours, In September was our last Rotary After Hours, and we had Women in Rotary at the home of Hannah-Laura Brucker, and we had 13 attendees. Then October, you guys, fireside chats always come in, and those are very well received. People have a great time. We had hosted by Josh Sprague, Renee Harberts, Paul Moody, Gordy Lewis. Then in December, of course, we had the famous and ever popular Peterson Family Christmas event at the Dakota. Joe Christensen arranged that for us. We had 20 people plus their guests. And then the holiday party that we always have to thank Marty Cooper and Steve Slice, 155 attendees. January, we had Women in Rotary at Lisa Walker's home. And at this event, we decided to include a donation event. So the proceeds of that went to the Edina Rotary Foundation. In February, Sutton McGraw did our bowling at Park Tavern. And I don't know who was the winner there. Paul Moody. Yeah, no, it wasn't. In March, we had March Madness at Poor Richards, and Scott Hawkins hosted that for us. And I do know that I was not the winner of that, but I believe David Kleins was. In April, Ann Platt put in tons of energy and effort, and we had a great time at Jersey Boys at the Orpheum. And we had a pre-party at Rock Bottom. 42 people attended, so excellent job. In May, again, traditionally we do Fireside Chats May and October. And Will Stanky, Susan Stiles, Gordy Lewis, and Michael Stanzik were the hosts of those. But I have to tell you that Brad Hepp is really the gentleman who has worked on putting that all together for us each May and October. So thank you, Brad. In addition, we had Women in Rotary at the home of Kelly Burnett. And again, we decided to do a donation event, and we contributed to the House of Charity. They were a speaker, and we loved them, so we supported them. In June, we just had the picnic here at ECC, which was also very well attended, 107 attendees. Royce did a great job of putting that together. And then last but not least, each month we have the Happy Hour Vocational Development Group at the Mez in Edina. Very well attended. It keeps growing. And that is an opportunity really for everybody to get to know each other, their vocations. And if you've not been to that, please come. And if you guys have any suggestions for an event, we try really hard to get an event that speaks to all of you, but in case we've missed somebody, talk to one of us. It's been my pleasure to host these social events and see people get together and have a good time. So thanks so much, you guys.
Hi, my name is Dan, and I am the Director of Public Image. First off, I want to say that I had some pretty big shoes to fill from my predecessor, Mark Jessen. So, got that going. Seriously. Okay. So here, let me just get ahead here. So public image, what's public image? Pretty much is what it sounds like. It's what's the face of us in the community. And so to start off, some of the events here that we did was to start was the 4th of July parade. So I know that you guys all know that's coming up again, and they're looking for volunteers. That's a fun way to get out in front of the community and families. We participated in Edina Open Streets. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's where different businesses and so forth around the 50th and France area get together, and there's families and kids and so forth. And we had a neat photo booth and so forth at that event. Recently, we just sponsored Clover Ride here in Edina, which is a circular that goes around France Avenue and so forth to different businesses. The other piece here that we do with public image is press releases. I want to personally thank Jennifer Benarott, who helped put a lot of those together and so forth. We did about 20 of those press releases this year, so there's a lot of things moving and shaking here in our group. Prior years, that number is up from 6 and 18. Members on my committee here that I want to thank would be Asato, Jennifer Benarott, Steve Butner, Rick Carlson, Kaylin Eidsness, John Flynn, David Hatsung, Jennifer Hendrickson, Mark Jessen, Doug Johnson, Marty Cooper, Ann Platt, Michael Stanzak, and Skip Thomas. We're always looking for more people on our committee, so if you're interested in public image, let me know. Thanks.
I'm David Kleins. I'm your Rotary Foundation Chair. And remember, there is the Edina Rotary Foundation, and then there is the Rotary Foundation. So the Edina Rotary Foundation is our local operation, and the Rotary Foundation, large capital R, is the foundation that we share with Rotarians around the world. For starters, I wanted to say thank you to the people that helped me in this role this year. We had a group that made a bunch of phone calls, and then I had a lot of moral support, guidance, and special wisdom. The Michelle Gasparian and Rotary International was a big help to our club, helping get me organized. Sue Spalding was very helpful because she did this job for the last 2 years before me. My dad and his wisdom, helping put things in perspective, was a big help. And there's several people on there made phone calls to follow up and encourage all of you to get your last gifts in. And we had a very successful year. This year we had special gifts from several members that helped a lot, but we had large participation. We had, but the foundation of it, I think, makes a big difference is all of us participating, encouraging each other at some smaller level helps bring us over to really have the opportunity to do some great things here locally. A lot of the Rotary Foundation money does come back here to our community, so it's kind of a misunderstanding that it all goes overseas. So a lot of it comes back here to Minnesota. So this chart shows that we had roughly 173, we had about 76% of us participating. Our annual fund, that's the part where half of it comes back in 3 years, $110,000. The special areas, $101,500. And then, thanks to our encouragement from this young man in the front row, Tom McNeilis, we were able to match about $20,000 of his $40,000 gift, so we brought us into about $60,000 for Polio Plus. So if you add those all up, we're in the ballpark of $170,000 for Rotary Foundation and Polio Plus this year. So we have 49 of you all that are with the intention of pitching in the neighborhood of $1,000 every year. There's quite a few very generous people in this community, and I'd say everybody is very generous in all kinds of different ways. And I'm very fortunate to have this position, and I'll be doing this. You'll be stuck with me for one more year, and but I look forward to working with you all in the future. This is the money that fuels the work that Shelley does and Brandon's doing around the world and around here in the Twin Cities area. So thank you.
Oh, boy.
Thank you. Good luck.
Wow. What do I say? Thank you very much.
Two directors were unable to be here because they're on a family vacation. So that's Joe Aarons and Kip Peterson. Joe has been responsible for community service, and he's done a great job of organizing that committee this year. And then Kip Peterson, I think he's going to be the longest serving board member out of the officers by the end of his term next year. He has been responsible for youth service. Another member who's not here today is Josh Sprague. He's treasurer for our club this year, and he will be president-elect. And he's, with some prodding from Jeff O, past president Jeff O, he's done a great job of managing books. Thanks, Jeff. And Sam, can you come up, please? Sam Thompson was secretary for our club, and then he will be treasurer for our club and the club foundation next year. And since during my year as secretary, we started doing 2 minutes, 2 different board meetings. So I understand how painful it was for Sam in terms of preparing meeting packets as well as doing 2 sets of meeting minutes. So Sam, thank you. I would like to have the following individuals come up, please. Joe Hayes and Bob Stell are co-chairs of our RARE committee. Now, the RARE committee as well as speakers program committees are non-board positions. However, if it wasn't for these 3 people this year on an ongoing basis, is Mary here? Come on up. Our club would really miss a piece of our special culture that we have. So I just wanted to recognize them because they're oftentimes not visible, and they do such a fantastic job for our club. Thank you very much. Next, Jennifer Goski. Can you come on up here, please? As she walks up here, Jennifer, this year is her 5th year as our club service administrator. And all of us who have been working with her have seen her grow in that position to a point where I gave her sound the wrong way. Anyway, to a point where she, I believe, along with officers, directors, and past president, time serving and long-term Rotarians in our club, is one of the key timekeepers or keepers of culture and institutional memory for our club. And in recognition that this is her 5th year, what I would like to do first is to give her a Paul Harris Fellow +1 pin. And then this, and one more. That's right. Thank you. Let's see. Then ECC staff. I guess they're busy, but they also need to be acknowledged. We have a wonderful venue here at Edina Country Club, and they do a great job of, come on out, guys. And they do a great job of, helping us host this meeting. Thank you all. And could the following board directors for the Edina Rotary Foundation come up? So Gary Pedersen, he's not here today, but he is our Lodge Director representing International Service. Keith Benson, if you could come up, that'd be great. Thank you. Is also at Lodge Director at Lodge, and he represents local grants. Jennifer Benarott, she's Director at Lodge, and she's a past president 2015-2016. Jeff O, Director at Lodge, past president 2014-2015. Steve Slice, Director at Lodge, past president 2013-14. And last but not least, Scott McDonald, come on up, Director at Lodge, past president 2012-2013.
Waist up, please, waist up.
Thank you very much. One thing for Scott. So as I mentioned earlier, Scott started a tradition, our club's tradition of giving a miniature rotary clock to those board members who are leaving the board. But he already has one. So he's generously giving his gift amount to our club foundation's legacy fund. Thanks, Scott. And Platt, could you come up, please? And it also serves on the club board as well as club foundation board as past president. What that means is she's finishing up her 5 consecutive years of being an officer with our club. And in token, this is from me.
Oh, thank you.
That's for you. And then in token appreciation, flowers, little gift, and also from our club. Thank you.
Thank you.
And would you like
Son asked me if I wanted to say anything, and it's really kind of hard to put into words what the last 5 years have meant to me, being serving on the board, and also being humbled enough to be your president last year. I know the club's in great hands. We have a lot of wonderful new members who are getting involved. Longtime members are staying involved. We have a great president coming in who's going to do a good job. Hard shoes to fill after San. I just want to thank everybody for your support these last 5 years and continue doing what you're doing. Thank you.
So now I get to have my 5 minutes or 4 minutes to conclude my year. That's right. It is customary with our club for an outgoing president to give a talk reflecting on the year as a club president. Starting about the second half of my year as president-elect, fellow Rotarians start to ask me, "Son, what are your goals for your year as president?" Then every time I would sit down with Tom McNellis, past president, and my father-in-law, as well as a business partner, he would ask me, "What do you plan to accomplish during your year?" Tough one, kind of difficult question. And every time I think what I said is I'm going to focus on the process and not on the outcome. I believe in build it, take good care of people, and good outcomes will follow. So in that vein, goals I set out for myself for my presidential year for me was pretty straightforward. One, I was going to make certain that guest speakers got the promised time. 25 minutes, even if it meant that I were to cut off Rotarian, and I did. Sorry, past President Woods, I did that to you. 2, I would end meetings on time. And despite numerous heart palpitations I had, and I think all past presidents would agree with this, packed agenda, run-on comments by some people, guest or grant recipients, student guests, guest introductions, like Rotarian Dick Teagan. But I was pleasantly surprised that we actually did manage to end most meetings on time. 3, I wanted as many Rotarian faces at the podiums as possible. I think we did that. And I'm grateful to the Speakers Committee Chair Mary Husted and past presidents Jennifer Benrot, Steve Slice, and Brad Hebb for taking that into consideration in facilitating new member inductions, scheduling classification talks, and speaker introductions. 4, I wanted to give chairs and the committees the freedom to do their work. As past president and past district governor, Tim Murphy has stated often, appoint good people, give them direction, get out of their way, and let them do the work. That was the case with our club's 60th year gala celebration, co-chaired by Rotarians Lisa Walker and Don Hutchison, and with the Speakers Committee chaired by Mary Husted. 5, I wanted the meetings to move or have the feeling of movement. On my part, instead of giving full introductions to Rotarians coming up to the podium, and at times that was awkward, and we saw that earlier today, I chose to share the day's agenda, recognize Rotarians with duties and podium times up front, and have slides for each Rotarians with their Paul Harris status, classification, and their roles. 5, I want to be authentic. be me at the podium. Past President Les Waniger, his advice to me early on was be yourself. And to do that, I want to share my authentic self with you by sharing snippets of my life, philosophy, and values. How I chose to do that was to share personally meaningful closing quotes and photos. Lastly, AV Club President goal is to have a successful year. When Director Greg Yock asked me, what do you want us directors to do to make your year successful? My response was, continue to do what we do best. If we do that, we'll be successful, and we have. It's not by accident that our club has continued to sustain its membership and become the largest club in the district. It's not by accident that our club continues to lead our district every year in leadership and as well as giving. It's not by accident that our club consistently raises over $200,000 every year to do good and make a difference in people and Rotarians' lives. We do that both here and locally. It's with a measured truth, I believe, that, although we say jokingly, that our club is indeed the #1 club in the universe. In closing, could all past presidents stand up and be recognized and acknowledged for your service? Thank you. All past presidents who are just standing, I believe, will agree with me. Serving as a club's president, yes, I know that I'll be a lifer, meaning a lifelong Rotarian, and continue to make a difference. My sincerest thanks to all of you for giving me a memorable and meaningful year as your president. Bless you all. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, John, can you come on up? It is with my distinct pleasure to invite President-elect John Flynn, the new incoming president of our club and club foundation, to transfer this pin that has been passed down from president to president for the past 60 years. And the first advice I got from Ann and everybody was, don't lose it. With this transfer of this pin for the 64th time in our club, I pass to you the mantles of presidency. You gotta take that off, John. Old pen.
John, if you could just look a little happy.
Congratulations, President John. Click forward.
Oh, look at that. Is that beautiful or what? Or what? That's right. Or what? Well, it was close. For a minute it was going my way. Say, first things first. San, come on up, back up, please. Many of you may not know this, but San has been my mentor for most of the last 7 years. About that time, 7 years ago, he gave me a call and he said, you might be a decent replacement for me someday on the International Services Committee. And he got me to join his committee to show me how to do a good job and how to do things right. And now, today, it's my honor, really, to follow you as president. And I really appreciate your leadership and your mentoring along the way. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a pin here to give you to replace the very nice pin you just gave me. Ready, Jennifer? I got my smile ready.
I think we're gonna move towards the camera.
Here you go. Don't go anywhere yet. Anyway, on behalf of
I
our
did the same to Ann last year.
on behalf of our entire club, I want to give you our sincere appreciation for the work you've done over the course of the last year and the leadership that you've given us and the wonderful example that you've given us as president on how to conduct business. If your wife Sheila was here, I would certainly want to thank her for her encouragement and patience and willingness to share you with us for the last 12 months. And of course, Son, you know your responsibilities aren't done. You'll continue on as one of our people on our executive committee as past president and also on our club board and our foundation board. But it's an honor this year for it as a token of our appreciation for your job this year as our president. We have this plaque that we'd like to present you. And it says, presented to San Asato for your dedication and leadership while serving as president, 2017-2018 Rotary Club of Edina. It's also board tradition for us to get together as a group and buy a small gift for the president when his term is over. And as you would expect, San contacted me a few years back and he said, you know, if you're considering getting me a gift, I would much rather you consider making a donation in my name to the Polio Plus Foundation. So I just want you to know, San, we're going to follow through on that and make a small but heartfelt gift on your behalf for the Rotary Polio Fund. And finally, and I'm sure this will be the highlight for you so far this year, we have, with Sheila's permission, we've personalized a photo. Marty, Jennifer, would you unveil that?
Oh boy, with Sheila's permission?
Well, because we're expecting you either to hang it over your fireplace or possibly in your office or wherever else you'd like to put it.
Oh, awesome. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank
So thanks everybody for signing that. If you didn't get a chance to sign it and you want to do it, we've got pens and you can do it after the meeting. First of all, I've got to tell you that this is very humbling and inspirational to be here today as your new president. As many of you know, my father, Mick Flynn, served as our club president in 1992-93, and to be given the honor to follow in his footsteps is really inspirational in many ways for me. And I'm looking forward to this year. I want to thank you in advance for your support that I'll need and that I'll ask for as we go through the year, and certainly if there was a group of people that I had to count on, I would select you to be the ones to do that. So I feel very fortunate to be where I am. Both Pam and I would like to thank you for the opportunity to go to the Rotary International Convention that took place earlier this week. We had a great time there. It was fun, it was educational, and it was inspirational. Thanks for letting me start my year with such a great send-off. And I'll share more next week. Initially, when San put together the timeline for this meeting, I was going to have 2 minutes at the end, so we might get a little break. But I'm going to bank those minutes for later this year if we ever run over. But I will share more at future meetings, but I just want you to know that I'm going to do my best to make this upcoming year fun, engaging, meaningful, and inspirational for each and every one of you. And I was going to make that into an acronym, but FEMI just didn't sound right. And then Steve Slice told me that was Jeff Bo's nickname in high school. So it was already taken. So anyway, our 2018-19 theme, Rotary theme, is Be the Inspiration. And I hope to help each of you be the inspiration for your own Rotary journey. If you didn't already do it, we're hoping to get a small snippet of what your inspiration is on video, either after this meeting today, if you didn't do it earlier, or hopefully we'll have another chance sometime in the next few weeks to do that, because we're going to use those in our social media and meeting events and other things like that. One thing I'd like you to do is mark your calendar. You ready, Tom? Okay. For Saturday, September 29th. If you have friends, if you have family, if you have neighbors, ask them to mark their calendars too for Saturday, September 29th. That evening, we're going to have a fantastic Rotary celebration. And you're all invited, and so is everyone you know. And it's going to be a real humdinger, as they say. But it's going to be a fantastic event and something that we're going to get into more detail in the next couple of weeks. But I think it's going to help bring our Rotary Club and our Rotary community together. So I encourage you all to at least mark the date for now. And finally, I'd like to thank all of you for your continued service to humanity. As we approach the July 4th holiday, many of us will have the opportunity to spend time with family and loved ones. And as you hopefully enjoy yourselves and experience many of the great things that happen in Minnesota in the summertime, I encourage you to keep this inspirational passage in mind, which is attributed to Peter Marshall. May we think of freedom not as the right to do as we please, but as the opportunity to do what is right. Until we meet again on July 12th, when Mr. Bill McGreevy will be our program, along with all the Minneapolis Aquatennial royalty, please be the inspiration. Meeting adjourned.